Hey guys, this is Cheeseburg, or should I say Sickburg, coming back at you again with another video. Sorry for the lack of content in the past few days. I've been very sick, and I'm still very sick, as you can probably hear. And it kind of sucks. I haven't been able to get anything done, and as much as I love making videos and devoting myself to content, I need to work and go to school too, and it's a bummer I can't do that. But to fill my void of time, today we're going to be talking about the Jojolands Chapter 19, Glory Days Part 1. This chapter starts off with a flashback of the Howler Corporation and more specifically about Aka Howler's ancestors. His great great grandfather possessed the land on the big island of Hawaii, which, the main group is trying to steal now. He also hollowed out some of the mountains to create water sources through his properties. It goes through the transformation of the Howler Company from the Howler Farms to the Howler Corporation. They also moved into making munitions in wartime, becoming extremely profitable. Although the land was technically owned by the people of Hawaii, most of the island's water came from the Howlers' land, so they remained in control, and no public or government officials were allowed to go on the land unless they had, specific approval. But we go back to the present day, and we see that Paco isn't doing too well after getting shot, which is a fair reaction when you get shot and you're stuck in an elevator. But I don't think he's dead. It's only been 20 chapters. He doesn't have enough development to for this to be too emotional on the audience or the other characters for that matter. It's only been a few days, I think, in the Jojolands timeline. I'm not really sure. But basically, he's yelling at Jodio, being they're the stand users, talking about Bobby Jean and Lulu, right? And Jodio's walking around the waiting room, I don't really know what he was doing, but he bumps into Lulu, and he's oh, there's this little girl. And right in front of the little girl, Lulu, is Bobby Jean, which, he's a menace. I love that guy so far. But we cut back to the other half of the group, Usagi, Dragona, and Charming Man. They're doing their thing, trying to get Usagi that MRI, and he's not cooperating. He's going absolutely crazy in that MRI machine, making it very hard for Dragona and Charming Man to get a proper image of his brain. Eventually, Dragona tells Charming Man to locate the lesion, which he does, and Dragona takes out Lulu's stand with her smooth operators. Upon that, Jodio's there, right in front of Lulu, sees her nosebleed, and he's like, "You're the stand user," and that's when Bobby Jean pulls out his gun and goes pop 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 pop. I wonder what his gun sounds like. Anyways, anyways, a side note is I think Jodio's stand is perfect for this, and it's obviously really different than all the other JoJo stands that we've seen, but more specifically in the way that it's a defensive focused stand. It obviously has offensive capabilities, but in this fight we're very much seeing the defensive capabilities. Bobby Jean, sorry, I forgot his name for a minute. He has a pretty busted stand as far as I can tell. The way I understand it works, he fires his bullets and he freezes their trajectory and then fires them all off and whatever. I don't know. I need a full explanation. I need a stand breakdown of that because these new JoJo stands get too crazy. But I think it's just really cool to see how Jodio's stand is able to combat such a strong offensive power like that. But after that, Lulu reveals to Bobby Jean what Aka told her the last chapter, that Jodio and his group are after the land and they possess the lava rock, which I think will end very poorly for her since Aka specifically said this is between me and you. He spelled that out very clearly. But after that, we go back to Dragona, Usagi, and Charming Man. Dragona discovers there are many of those little dudes in Usagi's brain. Upon making this realization, they see the doll head stuck to the door, and they see that there are stands on the doll's head. They launch themselves at Charming Man, looking like they hit him. After this, we go back to Bobby Jean's perspective, who's trying to get the jump on Jodio. However, Jodio is one step ahead and is able to get the upper hand on Bobby Jean. However, after blocking many bullets, it seems like one of Lulu's stands got a hold of Jodio, and this is where the chapter ends. Since this is my first Jojolands review, I want to give my opinions on the series so far. I've been enjoying it, and I comparatively think it's been a stronger 20 chapters than the first 20 chapters of Steel Ball Run and Jojolion. Even though, I don't know about Steel Ball Run. I need to go back and see where the first 20 chapters takes me. But, I really like Steel Ball Run. But I appreciate that Araki learned from his lack of direction in Jojolion, or at least how I felt I haven't really gone back and read it since it's been over. So going back on reading it, it could be set up a lot better when I'm like binging it. And I like the setup for the antagonist early on with like similar to what he did with Funny Valentine. And like obviously we knew Toru for a long time in JoJolion, but it's like I remember when they announced that he was the main villain, everybody was kind of shocked, and it was like, and again, I really fell off of JoJolion and JoJo's towards the end of JoJolion, and like I was not following that narrative super well, so I will probably need to go back and read that just to form new opinions on it. But with that being said, Part 9 has a lot of direction, and I really hope he continues to flesh it out. I also hope Jodio and the gang get rid of their boss because I feel like it adds too much restriction. I want it to be really similar to Part 5, which it's been set up to be. I really want to see a JoJo fighting for his own dreams, similar to Johnny or Jorno. In terms of this chapter, though, it is safe to say we are setting up the overarching plot of the Jojolands, and I feel like this setup will end soon. This chapter was titled The Glory Days Part 1, so I think this is referring to the glory days of the Howler Corporation, which implies we'll get more of the history in the next few chapters. Or this could be Bobby Jean's stand name. But that's pretty much all I have to say for today's video. Sorry that I've been not producing a lot of content recently, and I'm kind of sounding not too great. Like I said, I've been very sick, but hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things. Depending on if I keep being really sick today, you might be getting a couple more videos today if I really just have free time. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.